Last week on Scream Test, 4 bold volunteers took on the curse of Monte Cristo.
Oh God, I hope this ain't real.
Our paranormal researcher captured ghostly images, and the troubled spirits even came after the crew.
We've got someone in the van here with us. What's happening with your machine?
Ex-cop Michael searched for hard evidence.
Come on, kids, talk to me.
This is pretty spooky.
At the same time, the psychics tried to ward off the ghosts and the crew struggled with mysterious technical problems, Fiona's camera went on the blink.
I'm hearing a baby crying. This light is flashing on and off. My own camera light is flashing on and off at my face.
Shooter Michelle was rocked by the cradle.
And he goes, look, Pram, it's moving. I didn't move it.
And crane driver Dennis felt the menace.
Oh, shit.
One will win the Monte Cristo Scream Test and go to the grand final. Then a new gang of 4 tackle their Scream Test in the deadly Queen Victoria Hospital.
I can feel ghosts.
She's just about at threshold in the theatre.
That thing is definitely moving.
Bingo. But you're not gonna beat me.
I don't know what that was.
At Monte Cristo, ex-policeman Michael has been lying in wait all night, hoping to flush out a ghost. Now he's in the stables, the room of the first challenge, and the place where stable boy Morris was burnt to death.
Jesus, this might be Morris's chest.
He has no problem finding the clue and the password to the next challenge.
I believe the next clue in this is singing.
His inquiries continue.
I'll just make up that pillow that I took apart, and I might have a lay down where Morris used to have a nap. So bear with me.
Again, Michael assumes the position. But once he hears our sound effects, he can't resist the urge for a wander.
Alright, some noises happening.
He notes all the crew's special effects.
Alright. Coaches are actually moving. One of the doors has actually popped open on one of them. And he's actually saw these moving. Oh, yeah. There's definitely activity happening in here.
Michael is starting to lose his cool.
First I saw it from that direction. Now it's coming from behind. Timber falling down.
Dennis is being shut in the caretaker's cottage, scene of a brutal and senseless murder. He's really shaky after his time in the stables. He needs to take photos with an infrared camera, but can't bring himself to do it.
Just heard a couple of noises of like a lady crying and screaming in the background.
This is one of the crew's effects, but Dennis senses much more.
At the moment I'm feeling very cold in here. Still the chills all over my body. My buttocks is very warm for some reason, like the seat is very warm. Had something brush against my feet, my right foot. Yeah. Even though it's a very small room in here, it's very creepy still.
He's meant to record the temperatures on the multi-probe thermometer, but Dennis is feeling colder as the temperature goes up, and it's making him panicky.
Temperature in one of those readings, reading number 9, it's gone over 16 degrees. Now there's 16 temperatures or 16 thermometers, it's gone over 16 degrees, which when I first took down the first reading, there was only 2 temperatures over 15 degrees. So, hang on, once cracked 17 degrees and I'm feeling very cold. Ooh.
A very nervous Michelle is taking on challenge number 2 in the servants' quarters.
So much for being in this room, being very homely. I just kind of, the pram just moved. This one. It just moved by itself. And there's nothing near it. Okay, I don't really like this room anymore. Yeah, now I'm a bit edgy. Heart's racing a bit faster.
This is the room where contestants have to remember the password SIN to enter the computer. In here, they must find the diary of Catherine Bingham, which describes in detail the 6 deaths at Monte Cristo.
Match the crime with the sin to find the one sin that hasn't provoked murder at Monte Cristo yet. Write the name of the sin next to answer 3 in your logbook.
The answer is greed. Michelle is the first contestant tonight to successfully complete the second challenge. This is the room that always creates a feeling of dread, particularly for women.
Well, at the moment I'm in the boys' room and I don't feel very comfortable in here at the moment. I feel very nervous. I feel like my heart's racing at 100 miles an hour. I feel really short of breath. I just feel like I want to get out of here, and I don't really like the cupboard. That cupboard there. It's behind me.
She's not getting any surprises from us in the cupboard.
This cupboard here gets me. I don't know what it is about this cupboard, but I just don't like it.
Fiona's imagination is running riot.
It smells. It smells of someone really old. That's not old, but smells of something that's stuck in here. That's what it smells like. It smells like something stuck in this room. It smells like something dead. Oh, shit. I just want to get out of here.
She's so busy looking at the wardrobe, she misses the crew rocking the cradle behind her.
As I was saying... Oh, God.
Remember, last week she had the same problem with her camera and we could not trace the fault. Fiona has a theory.
My camera is doing it again. Obviously something's trying to communicate with me. I don't know.
Things are hotting up for Dennis back in the caretaker's room.
Just felt a vibration with my right foot. Last a couple of seconds. It's gone now. I can feel a bit of heat underneath my groin actually. Make my chair a bit warm. Ooh.
Michael takes on the second challenge in the servants' quarters.
Come up with the diary of Catherine Bingham. They're the most horrible deaths in this place over the years. I'll just go through the deaths. Number 1, a promiscuous and pregnant maid was murdered in her bed.
At this stage, he's the only serious challenger to Michelle for the place in the grand final, as the other 2 failed this challenge.
An old maid, unable to have children, throws a baby down the stairs, killing it instantly.
With his analytical mind, it should be no problem.
So we've got those clues now. What I've got to do now is
He just needs to go through the cards and match the sins.
solve my last task.
But he's soon back on patrol.
Couple of pictures up on the wall. There's a little postcard on that picture. Just go and have a look at that.
He's forgotten the second part of the challenge.
So great.
He's been too inquisitive for his own good,
Great stuff in this place.
and he's failed. As her time in the room comes to an end, Fiona's still battling the sound effects and senses a masculine presence.
I'm just listening to the headphones. He goes my light again, sorry. I heard a man breathing in it. As soon as I asked him what was wrong and why was he breathing heavy, he stopped. It stopped, and I don't think I got it in time to record it. I do feel a strong presence in here at this point of time. It's not a very good one, but I think he knows that I know he's here. And I'm not letting it get to me. I'm being open about this.
Her time's up.
Oh, God.
You'd think she'd be relieved to see our producer.
Don't do that. Oh, shit. She gave me a heart attack.
Now all that remains is the contestants' memory tests and tallying their scores.
Guys, well, I know it was an interesting night for all of you, and I have to tell you it was an interesting night for us sitting back in the van because we had a few visits, so it's been a very active house. But there is only one winner tonight. The winner tonight is Michelle. Congratulations.
So Michelle joins Sam, Debbie and Darren, the previous screen test winners in the grand final. Next, we screen test 4 new competitors in the creepy Queen Victoria Hospital.
Come on, ghost. Show yourself.
Our next scream test takes place in Queen Victoria Hospital, built more than a century ago to shut away victims of a tuberculosis plague. When the plague was over, it became a convalescent home for returned servicemen, before its final incarnation as an old people's home. Over the years, hundreds died here. Many spirits are thought to remain.
We shall explore the dark recesses of the Queen Victoria Hospital. Right here on Scream Test.
My name is Karen Meek. I really want to see a ghost. That's my aim in life.
My name is Jason Norrie. I've never encountered anything, and I always wanted to. I wish there was something else out there, but I haven't found it yet.
Watch your head.
My name's Selena. I do believe in ghosts and I believe in spirits, and I believe that I have a guardian angel because I've had experiences where I know that there's something there.
My name is Tani. If it's someone that I can physically fight, it's okay, but if I don't know where they're going to come from, through the wall or through the floor, that's what freaks me out.
You're going to take part in a scientific experiment to determine the type of paranormal activity that is happening here at the Queen Victoria Hospital. Tonight, you're functioning as a biological recorder, and all your thoughts and impressions could be instinctive or subconscious reactions to the paranormal activity in the room. But this is also a competition too, so only tonight's winner will go on to the grand final, where we'll determine the series victor. Let's take a look at the Queen Victoria Hospital.
Of all the diseases of the 19th century, tuberculosis was the most feared. There was no cure, and hundreds of sufferers were sent here to the Queen Victoria Hospital. It was last used as an old people's home, and many of the former nurses here believe some of their patients never left.
They've died, and you know that it's their little idiosyncrasy that they had, and only they had. You walk through the ward to do a round, I'd hear these mumblings and knowing that that particular resident wasn't there anymore.
Some nurses have had experiences that terrified them.
Downstairs, the door opened. I went back, I closed the door and it clipped, it sort of latched. Walked away and the door opened and I thought, I'm out of here.
With all the past stories that we all know of, you know, I'm sure it's haunted.
I do believe this place is haunted.
Eliza, and if you'll look at the wall there.
Now you're going to enter 5 separate rooms. Be attentive at all times, okay? And good luck.
Contestants will not be told if the things they experience are effects created by the crew or genuine paranormal events. Tani will first spend time in the basement. She's previously had a psychic experience.
I saw this vision of this woman walking down the stairs, but it wasn't like a vision. She wasn't see-through or anything. It was a real woman walking down the stairs. I said, oh my God, it must be my nan. And I rang home, and at that exact moment that I saw the vision, she was clinically dead.
I'd like to have the door in.
She's nervous before she even starts the briefing tape.
The basement is home to one of the strangest stories in this hospital. Among the many unexplained noises, cold drafts and voices, was one shadow that used to visit the basement, often seen in this picture.
You'd walk past the picture and it's pretty with the lane and pretty trees and a path leading off into nowhere, and some days when you looked at the picture you'd see somebody walking down the path, and then later on during the day if you looked at it she wouldn't be there. Another nurse that used to work a lot of night duty had said that when there was a death they would see shadows going towards the picture and disappear into the picture.
Okay, well, I've just watched my little video and I'm just going to tell you what's happening for me is I'm trying to breathe. That's the main thing I'm trying to do.
The contestants' task in this area is to read a cryptic poem which should lead them to the morgue. Inside are details of children's deaths they'll need for the memory test at the end of the night. Tani's easily found the morgue, but she doesn't actually seem to realise what it is.
As you can see, it's like a cold store. Okay, now what I want to make sure of is that this door is definitely going to stay open. I guess that means we've got to go in. My arms are aching already. Okay, here we go. Now we're in what appears to be the cold storeroom. I guess this is not a good time to mention that I'm vegetarian and I can't stand blood. Okay. Just put that down. Oh God, these noises in here are creaky. This door's creaking.
She's picked up on one of the crew's sound effects.
This is really worrying me. Okay, we're going to go out for a little trip outside to make sure there's no one here. God. I can definitely hear footsteps. This door's opening. And vibrations in the walls. They have been laid to rest. But all creatures, living or dead, grow old, cold. Has to be the cold storeroom.
Finally, she realises she's in the morgue.
Actually, may not be Mick Fraser after all. I've just read the fine print. I think this is the mortuary. That probably makes sense.
While Tani chills out in the morgue, our second contestant, Karen, will be locked in the isolation room.
I'd like to believe, because I know that we have a spirit, I know that our body is just a shell, and at some point when we die, that our spirit goes elsewhere. I'd like to see a ghost for myself.
Karen is hooked up to a heart monitor, so the crew can assess how she copes. The multi-probe thermometer is attached to sensors throughout the room. Karen must note any sudden drop in temperature, which could indicate a presence. First, though, Karen will find out the dark past of the isolation room.
One of the most frightening rooms in this place is also one of the smallest, the isolation room. This is where the TB sufferers were brought when there was no hope of recovery. They were brought here to die. Sue Riley is a skeptic, but even she hesitates to enter this room.
I couldn't tell you exactly what has happened in here, but it's always given me really bad vibes. I used to come in here and get a chair to take out to sit on during the night. I'd run with the chair. Some nights would be particularly worse than others, but it's just the vibes in this room. I don't like it at all. I feel quite cold in here now. My hair's sort of going on my arms. I don't like the room.
Just got some equipment set up here to determine the presence of any possible ghosts. I guess it feels like a little bit negative in here. There's something bad has happened in here. But no actual ghosts yet. Still reading about the same, 18 to 20.
Ruth thinks Karen has a spirit behind her.
The corner in the isolation room that's active is the one behind her?
Yeah.
Okay.
The readings haven't really changed since I've been in here.
She's missed a 4-degree temperature drop.
So maybe the ghost don't want to visit me.
There's someone in there. I mean, I can see them now on the view screen. I can see the spirit there myself.
I can't see anything, but I can definitely feel negative vibes. It's definitely getting a bit colder in here. I'm starting to feel a bit weird, actually. I think there might be a presence in the room.
Is Karen alone? The sceptical Jason is heading towards Ward 2.
Nothing scares me. I haven't found anything that scared me yet. When I was younger, my dad used to get the fear out of us.
His task is to record any unusual sounds. He's about to learn the history of Ward 2.
Sian Adams used to work in this ward with the elderly patients. While many of the patients would tell stories of seeing children at the windows, one patient, Eric, had stories she can't forget.
The old man, you would go in to help him.
Yes, please.
And he'd say, "Go away, the children are here, looking after me." He could see them, and he'd look around and you couldn't see them at all. Well, I couldn't.
On the bed?
Hi, on the bed.
Okay. I'll give you a few extra for the children.
Thank you.
He was happy when the children were there.
Thank you.
Some nurses also heard these children.
You'd go for a quiet break, read a book. And all of a sudden you'd hear the doors open and close and the sounds of children playing, voices and pitter-patter running up and down the corridors. The happiness of their voices and laughter. They were having a great time.
Sue Riley also heard them, though her children were far from happy.
Just a child crying. I said to one of them, "What's that noise?" You know, and they heard it too. And one particular nurse said, "Oh, there was supposed to have been children that died up here."
In 1907, 118 children died in an epidemic and are buried in a mass grave in the grounds of this hospital.
Let me go see what's happening in this room.
You hear it, the windows are rattling. Could be the wind. I'm sure that's what it is.
I don't think anything else would be out there making that kind of noise.
Jason's our most determined skeptic so far.
I don't hear any crying children. I don't hear anything. But I'd like to. I'd like to see a ghost. That light just keeps going on and off. I'm not scared of that. I'm not scared of anything.
I really do want to see a ghost, though.
I think that would make me very happy.
Selena is going to Ward 1, the room of the TB challenge.
I believe there are spirits with maybe some unfinished business that are around. I'd love to be able to hear them or see them. I want to know if there's something that I can do to open the door to allow that to happen.
First, though, the briefing tape.
Jackie Isles often worked nights in this ward. It never bothered her until she had one haunting experience.
Sitting in the ward, just writing a few reports, sensed that something, what I thought was a woman in a nightie, just sort of glided past. And the hair on the back of your neck goes up and you start to get a bit, you know.
Jackie believes she knows the identity of this ghost, thought to be the founder's wife.
The older nurses would say, "Oh, you know, be careful when you walk in the ward by yourself of a night because Mrs. Goodlett will be there and, you know, she'll make her presence felt."
TB or not TB?
In this room, contestants must read about TB.
Tuberculosis, or TB, has existed since at least 2000 BC.
There is a flask of harmless fluid said to be the contents of a TB sufferer's lungs.
It's yellow and cloudy.
Contestants must measure the quantity by transferring it using a pipette. Looks like Selena didn't pay attention in school chemistry lessons, or when our producer explained which end of the pipette to use.
Didn't work.
believe I'm putting my fingers on this stuff.
She won't be able to measure the quantity as required.
Unbelievable. You're a bloody idiot, Selena. Bloody idiot. If I had... I can't breathe into that now. Obviously, that was the bit you're supposed to breathe into, so I failed at this one. What can I do now? Give up or just try and succeed at every other challenge that I have? That's what I'll do.
In Ward 2, even though the crew hasn't asked for it, determined skeptic Jason is taking an inventory of the room.
6 mirrored wardrobes. One set of crutches. Stickers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Look, he's just so into his head. Look, everything's his head. Look. I have this in here.
The one thing he doesn't take stock of is the wheelchair.
Okay. That just moved. Too bad. I missed it. And I was standing right next to it, too.
He's determined to find out how the wheelchair moved.
Wheelchair, and there's a flat back tire. All the tires are flat.
He's right in assuming it's one of the crew's effects, but he's failed to prove it. Karen's off to Ward 1, the room of the TB challenge.
Former nurse Margaret Peachy believes that many patients became trapped here when they died.
You hear different things that some resident has said, and you know that they haven't been here for a long time. One of them might have stamped their foot quite often or made funny noises, but you know who it was.
Like many other nurses, she thinks that when a patient dies, it's important to let their spirits out.
And I'm a great believer in opening the windows for the souls to fly out. If you don't, I think that's how you get places like this with, you know, sort of the, shall we say, ghosts.
Unlike Selena, Karen has no problem using the pipette.
I hope this really isn't TB.
Will her concentration hold when the crew make a curtain move behind her?
Oh, shit. Oh my God. Something just pulled the curtains across.
It's certainly got Karen on edge, but she's still got the nerve to try to find out how it happened.
Okay, I've just witnessed my first paranormal activity. Something just pulled that curtain across. I've never, ever experienced anything like that before in my life. I'm absolutely shaking. I mean, I'm shaking, the camera's shaking.
We left Karen in Ward 1, convinced she'd seen a ghost.
There's definitely a presence in this room.
Ruth has similar feelings in this ward.
I'm seeing someone over this direction here who has like bed sores or something, pacing. And there's definitely a lot of pacing, a lot of footsteps.
I'm just trying to calm myself down. Just waiting to see if it comes back. Oh my God,
This is not one of the crew's effects.
I think there's something down there in one of the end beds. Definitely something else. Just walked in and out of that door.
Karen believes she saw this door open.
Well, I guess I'm starting to believe now.
The door is locked.
I swear to God something came in that door. I know, I heard the breathing and I heard it open and close. I saw it open and close.
Well, I can tell you now that door's locked.
Our producer Lee had locked it herself for safety reasons. It's the skeptical Jason's turn in the isolation room,
Pardon me?
where Karen was convinced she felt a ghost. The heart monitor will tell us if he's as laid back as he says he is.
You still connected?
Come on, ghost. Show yourself. I think nothing's happening because I'm wishing for something to happen. And I just believe that if you wish for something, you don't always get it. And if I actually believed in ghosts or anything of the sort, then maybe my subconscious would be powerful enough to let me imagine these forces that not everyone, but certain people see, or supposedly see.
Tani's in Ward 2, listening for any unusual sounds and hearing plenty of effects.
Steps. I can smell something in here. It's kind of like,
Let's see how she responds when the crew springs the door open.
I'm imagining this, and it might very well be, but I don't remember that door being open before. And the door is definitely open now. I don't know if you can see it. There's that door over there.
It's Selina's turn in the viewing room, the room of the identification challenge. In this room, contestants must use the password to access a computer.
So I'm going to enter leprosy.
Once into the program, they must search a virtual recreation of the viewing room, where bodies were identified, and find a real letter.
A letter. My darling wife, I hope that this letter reaches you before I am no longer able to correspond with you.
They must then work out the person's nationality, their name, and the date they died.
Okay, the first one is Luigi from Italy. We can discard that straight away because I'm looking for an English person. Edward Thornhill died on the 22nd of February 1907, which was only, my maths, 9 days after he wrote the letter, so it's definitely got to be him. So I'll write his name down.
Selina has successfully completed the second challenge. We left Jason in the isolation room, eager to see a ghost. Ruth was right about this room. He could get his wish.
I'm being pulled to this corner, and it's like an entity here in this corner. I feel it very strongly.
Jason seems to have sensed something in the exact spot that Ruth did.
For some reason I keep looking in this corner over here, but I'm not sure why. But something has me keep looking over there.
Next,
oh my God,
Selina makes contact.
I just want to be a friend.
Jason's now taking on the TB challenge in Ward 1.
If this is how they had to do it back in the old days, that's quite disgusting. And there's a little couple drops. Okay. That curtain just slid open.
The moving curtain effect freaked Karen. Will Jason be cool enough to find the password to the identification challenge?
And my back is getting sore, but my legs aren't sore anymore.
Psychics believe a sore back is a manifestation of paranormal interference.
A little bit of headache. Don't know what that's from. I'm sure it has maybe it has something to do with the evil spirits in the room, but probably not.
It's the sensitive Karen's turn in the viewing room.
I need to look for clues to move around the virtual room and cough and click. I'm pretty sure I've answered the third question correctly. It was definitely Edward Thornhill from England, 1907.
Paranormal investigator Mike Williams had camped out here overnight and recorded strange foot-tapping sounds in this area. Ruth hears them now.
What I was picking up is straight away I was drawn to the far right-hand corner where there is a woman there, and as we discussed, she said you picked up some unusual sounds.
Yeah.
And the sound that I was getting was...
Which is the exact sound that I taped.
This is the actual sound Mike taped. Tani is in the isolation room where she's hooked up to the heart monitor.
This is all a bit kooky, and I don't know if this can be explained. I rewound the tape. I definitely personally pressed that button, and I rewound that tape.
and it's just gone forward a little bit. I'm drawn to look up, which is...
She feels compelled to look up into the corner, just like Jason had.
I don't know, I guess I should use my little still camera and just...
Now her camera doesn't work either.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Jason's in full denial in Ward 1.
I don't know if the other people in my group would have got scared from a curtain moving or a wheelchair moving, but I didn't. It just
Amazingly, he's ignoring the crew's effects again.
I think I have good senses, and maybe they're not the kind of senses you need to feel or see something from the paranormal. Fake. But my back is definitely getting sore. And I'm not the type of person to get a sore back for no reason. And my legs are still getting tired and actually kind of sore too. I don't know why, but my headache seems to be getting worse and worse. Okay, 2 times in a row, my camera has turned itself.
At last, he acknowledges the crew's sound effects.
And now I'm hearing music over. I'm not even touching this damn button.
It's now Selena's turn to search the basement for the morgue door.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I just see the bathroom door. Oh shit. That was definitely the bathroom door because it creaks. And there's nobody out there. This is for real. Now this is for real. Oh my god.
She can see it's not the morgue.
Hello.
All the crew has done is put up a no entry sign and wired the door shut. There are no effects in here.
Hello? Am I allowed in? I'm not here to harm anybody. I mean, no harm at all. I'm a friend. I just want to be friends. I've got a lot of love. I've just been told by the psychics I've got a lot of love in my heart, and that's all I have to give. And if there's somebody who wants to meet me or let me in, do you hear that? Hello? I swear to God, I'm hearing the cubicle doors opening in there.
Your vote could help decide the winner of the grand final. So surf to our website and vote for your favourite contestant. And while you're there, try our Screen Test Web Challenge. You could win a very cool and super fast Apple iBook laptop in a range of electric colours. With Apple's easy-to-use movie editing software iMovie already installed, you can cut your own scary movie, surf the net, play games, or even work. It's the same great prize we'll be giving to our 4 grand final runners-up. The grand final winner receives an Apple PowerBook complete with Final Cut Pro, the professional desktop movie software. Our runners-up also receive this exclusive JVC digital video Cybercam. The series winner scores a stylish JVC flat-screen TV, a high-performance digital VCR, and the latest digital video camera with digital stills and MP3 capabilities. A total prize pool of nearly $65,000. Back in the ISO room, Tani picks up on the temperature changes, but everything else technical has been a disaster.
Had a bit of a big temperature drop according to monitor number 2. We're down to 14 degrees. But we've gone up in monitors 7 and 8. My battery ran out about 2 minutes after I got in here. I don't get anything on video. This camera would not work.
Tani's experienced the tape going forward and her camera didn't work, but she can't make our producer Lee believe it.
It was working fine. It was working fine before. It did it by itself. I don't believe it did it by itself. It's on there. You can't look at that. Oh my God, there's a rewind sound. I looked up there and it was all going backwards. What, so you thought someone was in here? I could hear water running and kids being washed.
There is a lot of spirit activity in this room, all right? So you were picking up on a lot more than you realised. Right in the corner, back in the corner.
Max and Ruth believe that Tani is displaying psychic ability, so take her to a staircase where they have seen a ghost.
What are you picking up now? Are you getting anything at all?
Ruth tests Tani to see if she feels the same presence.
Any other emotion?
It's like alone. It's aloneness. No, it's in a fetal kind of...
That's it.
It's a crouching down.
Well done. What age group is he?
Old, 50 to 60.
Thank you. Good girl.
Dark. He's like Arabic, or he's greying, but he's dark and older. He's wearing like a singlet that's dirty and it's got like red mud on it, or like
dried blood.
Cruelty.
Okay, from where?
Down.
Now on the way to Ward 1, unexplained music is heard not only by Tani, but by Lee and the camera crew.
Where did you hear that? Come back up here. Come back up here. Stop now. Did you hear it? Yeah.
There is no explanation for this, but we were able to isolate it to this sound.
Why is this door shut? There's something weird in it. Just go there. Just go there. There's somewhere.
Now Lee is really concerned and calls for Ruth and Max to check out Ward 1 before they continue.
Look, can we just get Ruth or Max to come down to Ward 1 now, please?
Karen's taking on the basement alone, except for the birds which nest in this part of the hospital.
There's definitely a large presence in this room. A negative presence. It's not a good one. I want to get out of here. The closed basement is where I'm supposed to go. Just where the clues.
Just like Selena, she's drawn to the toilet.
God, that door has opened more, I think. I'm freaking out here. I don't know if I'm supposed to go in here. Oh my God. I've got to calm down. I'm absolutely shaking. I'm going to go in this door. I don't know what's going to be in here, and I don't know if this is the door I'm supposed to go into. Because I'm sure there is something in here. Let's just open the door slightly. I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to do it. So here we go.
Next week, find out who wins through at the Queen Victoria Hospital.
Would you like to talk to me? There's something down there.
Sit up and pissed off.
And the 5 finalists take on the grand final scream test.
The camera's not working.
Surf to our website now and chat online with one of our psychic counsellors, Max Bright.